So let us discuss a general case, how conformations can be used to identify most stable conformations. How IR spectra can be used to identify most stable conformation. Suppose you have this molecule, which is a 2,3-dihydroxy molecule. Suppose you have this one, which is a 2,3-dihydroxy molecule, and R group may be any. For example, R may be small group like hydrogen or methyl, or R may be large group such as phenyl group, isopropyl, or tertiary butyl group. Okay. And moreover, this molecule it itself can exist in two diastereomeric form. It can exist in meso or erythro form, or it can exist in an optically active form or trio form. So let us start with the meso form. So this is your meso form. So first of all, we will draw its conformations. So your Fisher projection, it always give rise to eclipsed conformation. So we will draw eclipsed, then rotation at 60 degree, one rotation of one carbon at 60 degree give rise to the next staggered conformation. Suppose I rotate carbon in the back. So this will become R, OH, and hydrogen. Then further rotation at 60 degree, it will give which conformation?
Partially eclipsed.
Partially eclipsed.
Partially eclipsed. So you have to draw it by yourself. I am not drawing. Then again at 60 degree, it will give rise to another staggered conformation. So this R group will now move over here. Hydroxyl group will be here, and this hydrogen will come to this place. Then again at another 60, you will get eclipsed. Again at another 60, you will get another staggered conformation. Like this. So here you have total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. If you further rotate at 60 degree, you are going to get this first conformation. Okay. Now, out of these conformations, okay, first of all, let us see when we record its IR spectra. When IR spectra of this mesoform is recorded, we get two absorption bands. Two absorption bands were there. One absorption band at high vibrational frequency and another at lower vibrational frequency. Now this band at higher vibrational frequency, it is because of the hydroxyl group with no hydrogen bonding, and this at low vibrational frequency, it is because of the hydroxyl group with hydrogen bonding. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you have these two situations, and their intensity will depend their concentration. अगर तो intensity ज़्यादा है, ठीक है, उस form the concentration भी ज़्यादा होएगी, because intensity and concentration they are both directly proportional according to Lambert's Beer law. Now, first case arises if R is a small group. Suppose R is a small group like hydrogen or methyl. So if R is a small, in that case, out of these conformations, which one will be most stable?
Gauss conformation.
Gauss conformation. Which Gauss? This one. This will be more stable because you have hydrogen bonding here. So when R is small, even though two bands will be there, but this band at lower vibrational frequency, its intensity will be very high when R is small. And this band at high vibrational frequency, which is basically because of this anti-conformation, because of this conformation, as there is no hydrogen bonding, this will also be there, but it will be in less concentration. It will be in lower concentration. So its intensity will be
Low.
Lower.
Lower.
its intensity will be low. So this is case when R is small. Now when R is very bulky group, suppose R is phenyl, that means you was having 2,3-dihydroxy stilbene. That means R is a very bulky group. So what will happen in that case?
And the conformations become more stable.
In that case, yes, since R is very large and in this conformation, Gauss conformation, you have a steric repulsion, steric interaction between these two bulky group. Now, if we increase the size of this R group, the steric repulsion between them will also increase. And at a point, they will overcome this hydrogen bonding. So there are two factors. One is destabilizing factor because of the steric strain, and another is stabilizing factor due to hydrogen bonding. So if R is very large, in that case, steric strain will become very high and it will be more as compared to hydrogen bonding. So in that case, your anti-conformation will become more stable. So in this case, which group will be, which absorption band will be of very high intensity? Absorption band at high vibrational frequency or absorption band at lower vibrational frequency? When
Sir,
very large group.
High.
high vibration frequency.
So it will become, its intensity will become high and its intensity will become low when R is very large. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Now suppose we take another distereoisomer, that means we take 3O or DL. Now what will happen in this case? Draw on your copy. Copy से अपनी draw करो और दसो मैनू की होएगा इस केस दे विच. I am directly rotating at 120 to get another staggered conformation. But on your copy, you have to draw all 6 conformations. Okay. So in this case, what will happen? Again, you will getting two bands, one at higher vibrational frequency, another at lower vibrational frequency. So we have to check their intensity with two cases when R is large and when R is small. Now suppose R is small first. Suppose R is hydrogen or methyl like 2,3-dihydroxy butane or simply ethylene glycol. Now in that case, which conformation will be more stable?
एंटी ऑलरेडी दोनों केसेस की तरह लार्ज है
Yes, this conformation will be more stable. Why? Because in this case, both alkyl groups, they are opposite to each other. At the same time, there is a hydrogen bonding. So when R is small, in that case, this hydrogen bonding will be very strong. And in that case, which band will be there? Low vibration frequency band or high vibration frequency band?
Low vibration frequency.
Low vibration frequency band will be very strong, or its intensity will be very high, and this high vibration frequency band, it may be absent or of very low intensity. Why it is absent? Because this conformation is very stable, because there is a hydrogen bonding. At the same time, both alkyl groups, they are on opposite side. Similarly, here in this case, when R is a large group, so when R is large group, what will happen to this Gauss conformation? It will become further, इस केस ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਵੀ ऐसी low intensity आ रही है, क्योंकि कुछ amount ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ एक conformation exist कर सकती है because of since R is a small group, steric hindrance की घट है, but if R is very large, so what will happen in that case?
बहुत ज्यादा हो
Absent होएगी उसको.
ऐसी concentration बिल्कुल ही reduce हो जाएगी. So this low vibrational band will be very strong, and this band may be absent. So you may get only one absorption band at lower vibrational frequency. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now next is effect of conformations on X-ray crystallography. So let us see third point, conformations and X-ray crystallography. Okay, conformations and X-ray crystallography. Now what is X-ray crystallography? Or simply X-ray diffraction. Or simply X-ray diffraction. Now, why we use this X-ray diffraction technique?
सर स्ट्रक्चर में
Molecule the structure find करने के लिए.
X-ray diffraction is a technique which is used to find out structure of a compound. With the help of X-rays, you can find your structure of your compound. Okay, you can see your atoms and you can find out structure of your compound. Okay, NMR ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ NMR spectrum ਮਿਲੇਗਾ. ठीक है, NMR spectrum मिलता है, ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੀ structure find out ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋ. But X-ray crystallography ਨਾਲ you can directly see your structure. ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ X-ray crystallographic data ਮਿਲ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ. From that data you can actually see your structure. And softwares are there that can be used to see the structure. For example, this is one of the software. I can show you this X-ray data. And this X-ray, it is done in a solid state. That means your compound, the jata single crystal hona chahiye, single crystal X-ray crystallography. You must have its single crystal, जिसके विच वो crystallized होया है. ठीक है. So this is a kind of software, and you get your X-ray data, and from X-ray data you can find out your structure. So for example, ਜਿਵੇਂ ਇਹ ਵੇ ਇਹ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪੂਰੀ ਉਸਦੀ structure show ਕਰ ਦੇਗਾ. Like this. So can you see the structure?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is a X-ray crystallographic data of your single crystal solid structure. उससे X-ray करते हैं. That from that X-ray data you can directly see your structure. You can directly see your atoms which are present there. For example, this red they represent oxygen. This blue they represent carbon. And this green it will represent chlorine, and this purple they represent nitrogen here. Okay, you solve that data and you can directly see your structure from with X-ray crystallography. So in X-ray crystallography you can see your structure by taking its X-ray diffraction spectra, and we use this technique in solid state. Okay, that means you either have single crystal. Okay, you use single crystal of your compound. जो आपका crystal बनाने हैं उसका single crystal use करते हैं. और there's also another technique that is powdered. Okay, powdered is used less. Okay, single crystal gives the structure of your compound. So when we record X-ray diffraction spectra of your compound, as I told you, it is recorded in a solid state. So which conformation we will get there? So this X-ray crystallography, which conformation it will give us? I also told you previously, in liquid or gas phase, what happens? This is a rapid rotation around carbon-carbon single bond. Carbon-carbon single bond rapidly rotate, and you get all possible conformations. Because of this rapid rotation, you get equilibrium in all conformations, with most stable conformation that will be in excess. But what will happen in a solid state when you record its X-ray diffraction spectra in a solid state in a single crystal form? What will happen to this rotation around carbon-carbon bond? Which conformation will crystallize out?
NT.
Not NT always, but most stable conformation. So when you record X-ray diffraction or single crystal X-ray diffraction spectra, most stable conformation will crystallize out. And that most stable conformation, it will appear in its X-ray diffraction spectra. So this X-ray diffraction or X-ray crystallography, it can be used to study most stable conformation of a molecule. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you have to write this one paragraph. What is X-ray crystallography and why it is used? It is used to find out the most stable conformation of your compound. For example, same चीजें जो आप बार-बार वही discuss कर रहे हैं. ठीक है, there's nothing new. For example, if you have stilbene dibromide. Now, if you record X-ray spectra of this stilbene dibromide, in which conformation it will crystallize, or what you will see in its X-ray diffraction spectra. So what is stilbene dibromide? It is phenyl CHBr, CHBr, phenyl. So it will also exist in a two form. That was your meso and optically active form, erythro or trio form. So again, You have phenyl, phenyl, hydrogen and bromine, hydrogen and bromine. So you can draw its conformations. Then rotate at 60°. (120° to get another staggered conformation. You have to draw all 6 conformations in your copy. Okay. Okay. So now can you tell me its X-ray diffraction, will show which conformation, or reverse? By using X-ray diffraction, we can find out most stable conformation. So the X-ray diffraction will show which conformation is there. If you record X-ray diffraction of this mesoform, it will exist in which
Anti.
Anti-conformation.
Anti, sir.
Anti. So where it is? This one. So it will show it is existing in this conformation. Why? Because now here in this case, you have steric repulsion between phenyl and phenyl, bromine and phenyl, and bromine and bromine. Okay, you have these 3 kind of repulsions are there. In this case, you have a steric hindrance between 2 phenyl groups that are very bulky groups, so the steric hindrance is very large. But here you have steric hindrance between only bromine and phenyl, which is less as compared to phenyl and phenyl. So this one is your most stable. Now, what will happen in case of 3O? Yes, what will happen in case of 3O? Which conformation will be most stable? And therefore it will appear in X-ray diffraction spectra. हाँ जी बोलो बेटे.
सर जिधर दोनों फिनाइल ग्रुप्स एंटी हैं.
हाँ जी.
सर जिस फिनाइल ग्रुप्स एंटी लगे हुए हैं.
जिस ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ phenyl groups anti ਲੱਗੇ ਹੋਏ ਹਨ. This one. Okay, it will appear in your X-ray crystallography. But suppose इस केस में तो चलो क्लियर है. But suppose you have methyl group instead of phenyl. Suppose you have methyl, that is 2,3-dibromo butane. So what will happen in that case? Suppose you have 2,3-dibromo butane, and if I told you the steric repulsions are higher between alkyl-alkyl group than halogen that is bromine. Why? Because bromine is a very bulky group. Okay, and then alkyl group and halogen. So in that case, what will happen if you have a methyl instead of phenyl? So in mesoform,
Gauss confirmation.
so which will exist in crystallographic X-ray diffraction spectra?
So anti होगी.
एंटी होएगी इस केस से व्यवस्था की होएगी एंटी होएगी सो व्हेन आर इज फिनाइल और आर इज मिथाइल इट विल बी एंटी व्हाई एंटी बिकॉज दोनों एल्काइल ग्रुप दे आर ऑपोजिट साइड एंड दोनों हैलोजेंस की ने दे आर ऑन opposite side, so this one will remain most stable conformation and X-ray diffraction spectra will show it's there. What will happen in case of trio if R is
Gauss confirmation.
suppose this is 1, 2 and 3. Now if R is methyl, what will happen? Now you can see large steric hindrance is in between two alkyl group. In this conformation, these two alkyl group they are at Gauss position. Here they are anti. Here they are also at the Gauss position. So what will happen in this case?
Anti होगी.
Anti.
Okay, so this anti conformation will be there, but it will be only conformation. It will not only, but this Gauss conformation, it will also exist. Why it will exist? Because in this conformation, second conformation, you have a steric repulsion between bromine and bromine are also there. And as I told you, these bromine and bromine repulsions, they're more as compared to alkyl and bromine repulsions. So this conformation, it will also exist because in this case, both bromine, they are on opposite side, bulky bromine atoms are on opposite side, even though two methyl groups at the Gauss position. So this conformation will also exist. So one will also there. And this will be around 42% and this will be around 36%. So when you record X-ray spectra of this 2,3-dibromobutane, both these conformations, they will crystallize out. And you will see both conformations in your X-ray diffraction spectra. So am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this was the effect of conformations over physical properties. Now next is conformations and stability of distereoisomers. So this is same thing. We have done it many times. I don't think there is any need of repeating it. For example, you can simply tell me out of erythro and trio stilbene dibromide, which is more stable? We have ऊपर conformations बना चुके हैं. अपन की करना है दोनों दी conformations बनाउनियां ने. Then we will see which is most stable conformation and then we will compare most stable conformations of erythro and trio. और उन्हां दोनों दे विचों देखांगे किहड़ी ज़्यादा stable है. So out of erythro and trio stilbene, which is more stable? So yes, which one is more stable? Erythro ज़्यादा stable है या trio ज़्यादा stable है? बोलो बेटे, very simple.
Sir, erythro.
Erythro, sir.
Erythro is more stable. Why erythro is more stable? Because here its most stable conformation is anti. सारे groups
Anti.
ने. There's a minimum steric hindrance between them. But in case of trio, there is a steric repulsion between these two bromine atoms, which are bulky groups. So which one is more stable? Erythro. Similarly, पहला कर चुके हैं many examples. You have to take them similarly. कोई क्वेश्चन है तो पूछ लो हाले। और अगर मैं थोड़ा ये कहा आउट ऑफ 2,3 डाइहाइड्रोक्सी ब्यूटेन, out of erythro and trio, 2,3 dihydroxybutane, which one is more stable?
सर थ्रियो, क्योंकि हाइड्रोजन बॉन्डिंग होगी उससे।
Trio, hydrogen bonding is there. So similarly, you can do other examples there. Okay, so I will end this lecture over here. Okay, in next class, we will see effect of conformations over reactivity. How conformations they can affect reactivity.